I wanted to share a quick story with you because I think it's really important and honestly can be quite surprising for people. So, we had a new member start with us recently. She's 56. She joined us on a 14-day trial doing our semi personal training sessions. And we did an in body scan at the start. And at the end of the 2 weeks, I checked in with her and asked her if she wanted to do a new scan. That was actually just today. And she said to me something like, and I hear this all the time, but she specifically said that she felt that nothing much had changed and that she felt like she was probably making the wrong food choices. She felt like she was eating a lot more and because she felt a lot hungrier. And even though she'd tidied up and improved some of her food choices, the focus for the last 2 weeks was pretty much more about the strength training, although she did make improvements to her food. And she just asked whether that was a normal thing to experience, feeling hungrier as she started with her strength training. I said, yes, absolutely. That's very normal to start to feel a little bit hungrier when you're strength training. But she was still unsure about the scan because she was worried that she might be discouraged. But I also know that when people start strength training and making even like small improvements to their food and their lifestyle, something always positive is happening, even if it's not obvious to people and they can't actually see it in their bodies or feel it. So anyway, we did the scan, and the first thing that she noticed that most people do is that the weight had gone up, and this is usually the time that people would like feel a little bit disappointed. But then I just sort of went, okay, let's just have a look at the results and just see what's actually happening. So I've printed her report to show you here. I'm just going to walk you through the results that she actually achieved in 14 days.
Okay, so here's the results sheet here, which is the 6th of Feb is the date, and her original test was on the 23rd of January, and this is 6th of Feb. So the first thing that she noticed was that her weight had gone up 400 grams, which it has. And the things, though, that when we unpack this a little bit further, we can see that I'm just comparing it online to her previous data, that her muscle mass has gone up 500 grams, which is fab, and that her body fat has gone down 400 grams. Now, remembering this is just in 14 days, which her percentage body fat went down about 1% there, and her health score went up 2 points, which is really fantastic. It's brought her up to 71, which is 70 is someone that's in reasonably good health. So that was good to even get to that there. The visceral fat, there's been no change, but what's really interesting is down this section here, there's the intracellular water. Now, with the intracellular water, her reading was 21.8 litres, and when she started, it was 21.4. Now, that 400 mil increase, I'll just note that down there for her, that 400 mil increase is directly related to the muscle mass, and I see this all the time. So the 500 gram increase in muscle mass is usually coincides with about the equal amount in mils of water. In this case, it was 400 mils. So when you add those two amounts together, 400 mils isn't necessarily 400 grams. It's pretty close. So that gives you that extra bit of weight that can contribute to the overall score. Because with her muscle mass going up by 500 grams and her body fat going down by 400 grams, theoretically, her weight should have only gone up by 100 grams, but that extra bit comes from some water weight as well. So that's the change there. Some of the other really interesting things that have happened as a result of her increase in muscle mass is her change to her basal metabolic rate, which is how many calories she's burning at rest. Now, when she started, it was 1,383, and now it's gone up to 1,401. And this is an increase of 20 calories for someone that's 56. So our metabolism can increase, and it's directly related to how much muscle mass we have, which is fantastic. The other thing that is really interesting to note is that her bone mineral content, so this is a measure of how many kilos of calcium. So that was 2.77, and now that's gone up sorry, that was 2.77, which was in a really good, on the higher end of the healthy range, which was really good. And that's gone up to 2.84. And that's so that's 4.8. So that's in a short 14 days. We've seen an increase in muscle mass, an increase in muscle mass, and as a result, an increase in metabolism and an increase in bone health, which is just absolutely fantastic. So this is a great result. And if we sort of take away all this information and we look at that one number, which is 72.4, that went up from 72, you can see it in the chart here, her weight has gone up. We can misinterpret that and feel quite deflated. It's like, well, that wasn't a great 14-day trial. I had a great time. The people are lovely and the studio's in a really nice environment. But what's the point if I'm not actually achieving some of my goals, which part of her goal was to reduce her body fat levels and go into a healthier level of visceral fat. So when you see it in this way, it just makes a significant difference to how we feel about our results. It gives us quality information. So yeah, definitely, if you are starting with strength training, you cannot rely on your scale alone. You need to use other measures. So whether that's how certain clothes feel, or you do centimeters, or anything like that, because you want to be able to see the centimeters going down, but your weight's still going up. So really interesting, fabulous result for Jackie for the 14 days.
So, yes, even though the scale went up, her body composition completely improved, even in that short 14 days, which was also further demonstrated by the health score going up. And this is a really important point because muscle gain, even small amounts, means a stronger body, better bone health, a healthier metabolism, better insulin sensitivity, and more resilience as we age. There was less aches and pains. She was feeling like she had more energy. And all of this happened in a short 2 weeks. So, this is also why feeling hungrier can be completely normal when you start strength training because your body is adapting, it's repairing, it's building, and all of that needs extra nutrition. So by the end of the scan, her whole energy shifted and she started to feel excited with what she had achieved. She could see that her efforts were working, even though the scale alone didn't share that story with her. She was starting to feel like, oh, this is actually really good. Like I felt so, I actually, then she commented that she did have more energy and she was feeling better. And she walked away feeling really motivated and proud of herself. And she was really keen to continue with her training. So I think the most important takeaway is that if you're starting strength training, which is something that I would encourage you to do, and start making better lifestyle choices, the scale on its own does not tell the full story, especially in those early weeks. So weight can go up while health improves and muscle can increase